Hello and welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is the giant yarn stash. Oh yes, yeah, we're gonna get started. All of the yarns are Knit Crate yarns and I am pricing them based on what the starting price was, like before they kept upping their prices over at Knit Crate. So initially, when I got started with Knit Crate, they were selling, you would get 2 skeins of yarn, the patterns, and the shipping for $25. Okay, so I'm not sure which patterns go to which at this point. So the patterns are not included. This is just the yarn, and the shipping is not included because shipping charges have gone way up since that was quite a few, well, 4 or 5 years ago. So shipping has gone up. So the price that I am asking for the majority of these, some of these are going to be a little cheaper, some are going to be more expensive because there might be more skeins of yarn because sometimes I had duplicates. So I am starting, most of these yarns are going to be the 2 skeins together for $20. That includes that, and then your shipping would be additional. The shipping here in the US is on average, 1 skein is costing me $5.50 to ship because I just shipped some to someone. So I'm taking a guess at about $8 for shipping. So for $28 total, that would get you 2 skeins of luxury yarn. At least that's what I'm thinking. If the shipping turns out cheaper than that, you know, I would of course let you know, but I'm taking a guess on the shipping just based on I know what it costs to ship 1 skein of yarn. So, yeah, we'll get started. So the first 2 skeins I have is this. This is Uru yarn. It is extremely soft. It's Uru Electric. This color is called Rave. And let me tell you what it is. It is 40% Hyrakuya alpaca, 30% wool, and 30% Surrey alpaca. So that's why it's so soft. It has a lot of between the 2 different types of alpaca, it's 70% alpaca. It is a worsted weight, and there is 150 yards per skein. So it's a total of 300 yards. And there is the first one. Now, if you are interested in any of these yarns, you can contact me. Just send me an email to katrinascreations@yahoo.com and let me know which one you're interested in, and we'll go from there. So yeah, because you can just send me a check and I'll get them mailed out to you. So anyway, this is the first one. Let's see, where am I going to put them? Pulling a chair over here. There's the first one. Okay, the next one is also that same type of yarn, but there are 3 skeins. So this one will actually cost $25 because you're getting 3 skeins. It's the same yarn, but this color is called Wired. So this one you would be getting 450 yards total. And I do come from a smoke-free, pet-free house. So yeah, no, the yarn doesn't smell, other than it smells like sheep if it has wool in it. So yeah, so that's the second batch. This next one, this is Mellow. It's kind of a grayish with green undertones. It's looking more tonal in the picture than it really is. It's more of a solid gray. It looks tonal. It really does look tonal in the picture, but it really isn't. But it is kind of a greenish gray, which is, if you're using it as a single project, fine, but if you're trying to combine it with something, that's where I ran into the problem, because it's a different gray. It's pretty, but it's hard to put it with anything. The color that this is called High and Dry. It's 80% alpaca, 20% tencel, which just kind of gives it a little strength. It is a bulky weight, and there's 125 yards per skein for a total of 250. So there is that one. Then I have some of this. This is called Haze. This is a kind of a mauvey purple. It is Audine wools. This was put out in partnership with Sheepishly Sharing, which is Margaret O. Lander. This color is called Lucid. It's 70% superwash merino, 10% kid mohair, and 10% silk, which explains the incredible softness. This is like one of the softest I have felt. There is 120 yards per skein. This is, it doesn't list the weight on this, does it, anywhere? I mean, it's a bulky. I mean, you can see, this is probably like a 6 weight. It's a 5 or a 6 weight, somewhere around there. But there is, what did I say here? 120 yards, so 240 altogether. So there's that one. And then I have some of the same yarn, but a different color. This is called Penumbra. And it's the same fiber content. And it is a light gray. Let's see. We then have this. This is an Uru yarn. It's called Uru Cozy. This was called Fruit Tea. It's 45% Huacaya alpaca, 45% Surrey alpaca, and 10% stellina. So there is, stellina would mean it's got some sparkle to it, but if it has it, I don't see it. It says stellina in it, but this doesn't look sparkly. Anyway, this is a super bulky weight. So I'm thinking that last one I showed is also super bulky because they look about the same. There's 55 yards per 100 gram. Let me look at that Haze again, because that's 100 gram and that's 120. So maybe this is bulky, this is super bulky. So the Haze is bulky, this is super bulky. At least that's what they're calling it, super bulky. There's 55 yards per skein, and there's two skeins. And there you can see this. Next I have, this is Knitology. This was partnered with Brooklyn Boy Knits, and it is a worsted weight. It's called Concrete Jungle, and the one that's paired with it, they were paired together, so you didn't get two skeins of this. They were actually paired with a tonal, so they kind of mixed together. So this one is called Concrete Jungle, and this one is called Bushwick. And it's 100% superwash merino wool, worsted weight, 225 yards per skein, for that would be a total of 450 yards together. And they are intended to be used together. So there's that one. Let's see. Now we're going to do some that are, they're like mini skein sets, but they're not really mini. These came as groups of 4 is how they were sold. And I'm not sure if I got them paired back together in the order they were supposed to be. I'm not positive about that. I've tried the best I could. Trying to remember when I'm looking at this, thinking, yeah, I think it was these 3 together. Well, we're gonna put these 3 together because somehow or other I'm short one skein of yarn someplace that I can't find. So we're gonna put these 3 together. So these together, instead of being $20, it'll be $15 because you're only getting 3 instead of 4. And this is Vitalana Ambient Worsted. Each skein, it's 100% Peruvian Highland, and there are 100 yards per skein. So it's 300 yards total, I believe. I think that's what they're talking about. I think it's per skein. I don't think that's put together as a group. Yeah, it's 100 yards and a 50 gram skein, and this looks like a 50 gram skein. So yeah, so that would be a total of 300. So there is one set. Then we have the next set, which is a set of 4. These are kind of a cream color, and then we have kind of a green And then we have this brown. This green was in with one of the blues for some reason. I rearranged it because it looked kind of weird because the green doesn't really go with the blue. So I put it together with this, which is also kind of a greenish, olivey kind of green. So again, these are all Peruvian Highland. This one would be the $20. These two are the same color, I believe. Yeah, these are both called Titian. So these are both the same color. This one does not have a label on it. It fell off or tore or something, but anyway, it is part of the same bunch. And so it is all and this one actually doesn't have it either. So I don't know if they came apart or what happened, but anyway, they are all part of the same yarn. So these are all Ambient Worsted, and this is like green colored. So that's a total of 400 yards total. And then we have this, which is all browns and golds. Again, this is the Ambient Worsted. And, oh, I have more of these. I don't know how I ended up with so many. I have several collections of blue. I have this set here. These two are the same color. This is both gouache. And then we have the navy. And what's this one? This is Michelangelo. So this is a blue group of 4. And then I have this bunch, which is a blue group of 4. And this one, they are all 4 different. This is fresco. This one is gouache. This one is Michelangelo. And this one is Venezia. So this one is 4 different shades. So if you're interested in the blue one, specify which one you specifically want, because yeah, if you want the 4 separate colors or if you want the one that has 2 that have the same color. So I think that's all of the mini skeins. Then we have, let's see, these 2. This is Vitalana, and it's called Ambient Sock. This is called Jungle Walk, and this is missing a label on the other one, but as you can see, they're exactly the same. It is 80% Peruvian Highland wool, 20% nylon. It is a fingering weight. There are 400 yards per skein, so it's a total of 800 yards. This is enough to make a shawl. So it's 800 yards, or a sweater if you're a very tiny person. But anyway, there you go. Now we have this color here. There you can see it. This is Knitology Wisp, and the colorway is called Clay Pot, obvious reasons. It is 100% merino wool. It is a DK weight, and there are 236 yards per skein. So there is that one. And then, oh no, I'm not done yet. I've got 2 more to go. Okay, here's next to the last. This is Knitology Worsted Merino. The color is called Bohemian Waxwing. I think that's a bird. Anyway, it's 100% superwash merino wool, worsted weight 218 yards per skein. And here you can see it. It is kind of a gray. It's got gray, but it's got some like a greenish tone in it. So I think it is after a bird, if I remember rightly. Yeah, so you've got some gray, you've got some like a real light kind of olivey green in there, and then you've got some brown. So I'll turn that around so you can see it. And then lastly, this one's going to be a little different priced because this is what's left over from my colorwork sweater. So I have 1 full skein. This is the Vitalana Linen Jewel. This color is called Sandstone. And it is 50% superwash merino, 30% linen, 20% silk. It is super soft. The one thing I have mentioned with the sweater is some of the yarn in some spots is thicker than others. It doesn't happen that often, but there are spots where it is, and it does kind of, you just have to be aware of it. In fact, here you can see, let's see if I can get it to show. Here you can see right there, it gets thick right there. You do have some like string things that hang off of it. That's the linen that's supposed to be there. I kept pulling it out at first till it dawned on me what it was. So this one is, let's see, 400 yards. So this one is a full 400 yards. These are what is left over from my sweater. It's the same yarn. This one, I forget what the color is, but they're all gonna be sold together. And this I'm selling for $15 instead of $20 because you're getting one full skein and these are almost full skein. So $15 because, yeah, this one is, let's see, I wrote them down. Okay, this one is, there's 89 grams left of the 100 grams. So I figured out it's 4 yards per gram. So there's 356 yards here. So all total you have 756 of this color. And then there was 66 grams left of this, which means there's 264. So yeah, maybe instead of 15, maybe I'll do 12. So just let me know if you're interested in this because these have already been balled up. So this one's $12 for this plus your shipping. So that is the yarn I am destashing. So if you are interested in any of it, like I said, send me an email at katrinascreations@yahoo.com and you can tell me what you're interested in and we will go from there. And you could also message me over on Facebook if you wanted to. That's Katrina Knits if you want to contact me that way and we'll get it figured out from there. So yeah, happy shopping and hopefully I can destash because like I said, I am trying to downsize and there's nothing wrong with this yarn. It's just, I just had it for several years and I'm not going to use it, or it's not the color I would have picked because it was something that was sent to me to review or it was something that was sent to me to review from Knit Crate, or I just don't need any more neck cowls and things like that. So yeah, that's the reason I'm getting rid of them. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in any of them and I will see you again tomorrow for my bariatric update. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.